The following program is a production of Yawawa Media in New York. The opinions expressed in the following show are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Yawawa Media or of our sponsors.
Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. You know, a lot of my brothers are dead and gone, but they've been hanging on the block a little too long. What can I say? I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing fine, God bless you, cause you're doing fine. At the end of the day, don't forget about me.
Good evening. Welcome on this Sunday evening to Black Reality Unscripted. I know it's a new time, so sometimes we might get mixed up and we're not, ready for what we're should be ready for, I guess. I have a special group of people here with me today, here on Yawawa Media's Black Reality Unscripted. Right here next to me is Mr. LaCorey Edwards. He's the president of these. You see these beautiful yellow shirts that we have on right now? This is a Western. Well, we're the Niagara Falls Peacemakers. We're a part of the Western New York Peacemakers, but Niagara Falls Peacemakers right here. We have Mr. LaCorey Edwards. How you doing, LaCorey?
Hey, it's good, and definitely a pleasure, and I'm glad to be invited to Yawawa Media, and looking forward for this interview here. So thank you for the invite.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
yes, sir.
Everyone.
This is family right here. So we're gonna go over here in the cut. I like to call this the cut over here. Y'all don't know it's the cut, but it's the cut. And we have a beautiful young lady. She's a part of our finance department over in with the Niagara Falls Peacemakers. We have our Carrie Ann Dobbs. How are you, Carrie?
Hey, Doctor. I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And also none other than our Niagara Falls Peacemaker coordinator. We have the Ezra P. Scott Jr. What's up, brother?
How's everybody doing, man? It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Everybody's presence.
So listen, so this group called the Niagara Falls Peacemakers, a lot of time it's been buzzes around for a long time about wondering what it is that we're about, and and I think this was the perfect timing to actually kind of have somewhat of an open forum of where we can actually express and talk about what it is that we do, our mission and whatnot. But also for everyone that's watching, I'm offering you the opportunity. Please call in. Our number is 716-236-5688. Again, the call-in number is we have a new line. I'm sorry. The call-in number is
Go with yours.
716. We're going to get that switched up and changed real quick. 716-236-5688. You can give us a call in. We're encouraging everyone to call in. You can ask questions about what it is that we do. We're going to explain shortly about who we are, how we came about, and we'll try to get as much clarity as possible to our community about what the Niagara Falls Peacemakers is. So I'm going to go in the cut really quick because I want to start it off with the guy that was actually responsible for bringing the Niagara Falls Peacemakers here. So in the cut, we're going to go to our Ezra Scott. Ezra, give the community a genesis, the beginning of how the Peacemakers, the Niagara Falls Peacemakers came about. And you can, express how the initial Peacemakers had came to pass.
So just a quick genesis overview. While I was sitting on the city council, it was one of the initiatives that I had wanted to partake in. I was working out in Buffalo, for some years at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. I had the opportunity to see the Buffalo Peacemakers at work, and I personally was dealing with some things and really wanted to pour into our youth in our city, right? Where I really learned a lot about the importance of decision making, and to really, be able to pour into them, really make them understand, just how critical it is and how that can really have an impact on, the trajectory of your life. I had reached out to Pastor Giles, about a few initiatives and a few groups, we had some solid conversation, and that's when he had presented the idea of the starting the chapter of the Niagara Falls Peacemakers. From there, we had our announcement, I think, going back to March of 2018. We started out, with about, I think we probably had like 3 people in the first meeting, right. But we kept going. And from there, that's when we just, started taking action and getting out there in the small numbers is not the big thing. Less is more, right? And me being a city councilman, I could not really be the face because, you can't really mix politics, and especially something with this type of initiative because it's very non-political. And I didn't really want that conflict of interest. So my god brother, Donta Myles.
Yes, sir.
That's when he stepped up, man, became the president of the Peacemakers. And we really took it from there, just really trying to lock arms, collaborate with all community partners that really have a passion for serving our community. It's very grassroots, and just very fortunate to now, today, we have little 35 plus members that are part of our organization. Donta, I think we all know that Donta had made the decision to run for city council. Woo, woo. And salute to him, man, for doing that. And when he took that, made that decision to do so, that's when we, started looking inward as far as who else could really step into that president role. And that's when we came across LaCorey Edwards, man, and he's done a great job. Seen a lot of growth in him, and I think I'll pass it on to LaCorey, to kind of share anything else about the Peacemakers, because he's the man. He's the number one guy. So
that's right.
Just grateful. And, the number one thing I'll say about the Peacemakers, it was really about how do we empower the residents, because so often I think a lot of people have it confused as far as looking at the elected officials, the mayor, city councilman, county legislator, thinking that they have the power or they're the, end all be all, but really it's the people.
Right.
And so often, we're always looking outward instead of looking inward to ourselves and our community to take the action to create the change that we want to see. So, again, that was really my they go, for the Niagara Falls Peacemakers here in Niagara Falls.
Sweet deal. So I'm gonna turn it over here to our president, Mr. LaCorey Edwards. LaCorey, tell the residents and those who are watching. I mean, I know it's more than just Niagara Falls residents that's watching, but let them know who we are as the Niagara Falls Peacemakers and pretty much what we're standing for as far as our mission is concerned.
Sure. The Niagara Falls Peacemakers is a grassroots organization that came together. Actually, the truth of the matter is we're still trying to get the establishment of the full organizational level. But right now, for everything that we put together collectively and came together as a community, because that's where a lot of the members of the Niagara Falls Peacemakers is made out from. We come together to pretty much aid our community in ways of trying to pour love and peace and a sense of security for our community, to let them know that we are a group out here that does care for them. We care for our youth. We do have a mentorship program. And also a safe passage program that we conduct at our local schools. And that was something that was initiated to try to definitely show our youth through physically being there and physically being outside for them, to show like it's not just about talking, that no, like we're here. And through the grace of God and through the grace of all the work that we was all able to put together, this movement continues to grow. And we're always open for more community to continue to pour into this, rather through support, prayers, or just understanding that an initiative like this can really affect and change our community for generations to come.
Absolutely.
In the future.
Absolutely. I always say that. I like, man, listen, I want this to, be to the point where my kids are able to become peacemakers and take over when we get a little, we got gray right now, right? But yeah, so there are so many different ways that we are trying to change, the narrative, the dynamics of the negative dynamics of the city. I mean, there are some portions like of our community, of course, that we want to keep, but some of the negative, the unpeaceful portions that may have crept up in our community, that's where we're becoming, the peaceful presence. That's why we're trying to connect and engage with the community. One thing I like to again, for those of you who may not have known, we have a headquarters, which is, listen, that is a blessing, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what's the owner that blessed us with that?
John Williams.
John Williams, and we shout out to John, man. We appreciate that, and we're going to make and we're going to go into that in a little bit. Very good use of that space, because we know that it's a lot that we have to do. There is a lot that can be done, and we're okay. We're very happy and okay with being that vehicle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To make those moves happen. So let's talk about outreach. One thing that we've learned, of course, is that one of the biggest ways to affect the city positively is really to just connect with this guy. It was a guy. He was, man, probably a very wise guy. He had made mention that a connected city is a protected city. You know what I mean? Come on now. That's right. So, and honestly, I will say that the Niagara Falls Peacemakers, I believe that we have become that we exude that phrase. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That model. And that has become our motto. That has become like, hey, we have to connect with the city. So, and for those who don't know, like, we've done canvassing, because there's a lot of things that, you do, within the city. And sometimes everybody's not going to see everything. And that's okay as well. You know what I mean? Because we don't do things, to get, ocular recognition. A lot of things has to happen behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. Let me talk about the Peacemakers really quick. And that we are family. Like, yes. We're like, that's like an extension of family. And one thing about it is there's no big eyes or no little U's. I mean, so just in case for people who want to really know, for the sake of the organizational purpose of it, the things that has the day-to-days that has to keep the movement and make sure that everything is organized, there's positions that are, placed in place for that. However, everyone is on the same level. You know what I mean? We're all brothers and sisters. We're all, volunteers. You know what I mean? We're all here for the same purpose, is to, we want Niagara Falls to be the best version of Niagara Falls that it can be. Mm-hmm. So, Ezra, really quick, go over a few of the things that we have participated in. Like, we've done,
it's a lot that you could say that we've done, but just going from the very beginning, I remember we had our first community anti-violence get-together picnic over at Gluck Park. When there was an unfortunate situation with some beef between Buffalo and Niagara Falls taking place over on, I think, what was that, Niagara Avenue, Ontario Avenue. Right. I think one of the biggest things I'm very proud of initially was the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. How the city was actually going to dismiss and cancel the fireworks, due partly because of the financial situation here in the city, but also a lot of residents over in the 27th and Pierce Avenue, Linwood, Willow area. They were complaining about the amount of fights that were taking place each year with a lot of our teenagers. So we were able to partner up with the police force, be able to kind of just post up, engage the youth. And so, unfortunately, for the past 2-3 years, when we were having fireworks, there were 0 fights that we were made aware of. So very happy about that. Working with the Salvation Army this past summer, or even the springtime, as far as when COVID first hit, being able to provide food for those that were lacking resources with the high unemployment rate that had took place. Even for those that were homebound, that couldn't get out to the food distributions that we were having, the Niagara Falls Peacemakers, a few days out of the week, were actually transporting food boxes to those members. Right. Like we said, the Safe Passage, I mean,
mentorship program.
Mentorship. We got our chicken dinner giveaway that we do on Christmas Eve. I think we've given away over 125 winter coats for the youth. A couple winters ago, we did the little Christmas toy drive.
Yeah.
Or giveaway. You know, we wanted to have the youth read a book and write a letter, or just, you know, something that they had learned from the book that they read, and provided them with a few toys for Christmas to, you know, give them a good experience. It's really endless. I mean, it's nothing that really we don't touch as far as the things that we're involved in. Obviously, trying to reduce the violence in the city of Niagara Falls is something that we're very much interested in. But one of our mission statements is responding to the needs of the people. So whatever that looks like at any point in time, and that could change every day, we're hoping to be in the middle of it and to help, you know, make that connection with the grassroots of the heart of our community.
Awesome. So we have Miss Carrie Dobbs.
Yep.
Carrie, we want to let everybody know who you are. Carrie is not only a part of our finance department, but she has different hats that she wears, and I'm so appreciative of the fact that she's a part. I'm talking as we are so appreciative of the fact that she's a part of the Niagara Falls Peacemakers. Carrie, let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Carrie Dobbs. No, I'm Carrie. I'm a teacher. I'm a music teacher here in the city of Niagara Falls. Been teaching over 10 years, elementary level. I love what I do. I'm also a singer. I recorded an album.
Yes.
A couple years ago.
Put the plug in.
That's
Yep.
Yep. You can
Get your
buy it on
CD.
all social media. Any media outlet.
Yes.
Digital outlet. It's called God Unplugged. But well, let me go from there. Kind of my first meeting with the Peacemakers was when I was getting ready to release my album, and I came to a meeting because I wanted the Peacemakers to attend the album release, and that was something that I wanted. I just kind of felt like the calling to do more outside of the church. Right. I'm a gospel artist, born and raised here in the city of Niagara Falls. Music, just been involved in music in my church all my life. Okay, in a nutshell. There's a lot more I can say, but that's who I am, and just being a part of the church all of my life, and being a part of this city and understanding the need for the church to be represented more in our city. I felt compelled to come to a Peacemakers meeting, and that was just sort of like the beginning and the initiation of me joining, because I wanted my album to be released differently and not in the four walls of the church. It was outside of the four walls. I wanted everything to look different. I didn't want it to be in a church. I wanted to be in the community. You know, I wanted to reach a community. I partnered with Pinnacle Community Services, and we did outreach. I had people come donate, and because that's what God Unplugged is. That's what the essence of the album is supposed to be. God Unplugged, and unplugged from the traditional four walls of the church, and that's the rest is history. You know, ever since then, you know, I come to the meetings, you know, as I can, you know, with my schedule, and I'm just getting involved. So that's who I am. I'm a peacemaker.
That's awesome.
I'm very pleased to have you, Carrie.
Thank
you so much for being
pleased
part of
to
the
be
family.
a part.
Absolutely. And with your the fact that you are a teacher, here in the city of Niagara Falls, as a peacemaker, tell me what that looks like. How you know, as you know, a figure in our school system, you know, you're teaching kids and whatnot, and then, you know, then you're a peacemaker. So show how that looks.
Yes. So, you know, it's, as I said before, it's rewarding to be a music teacher, because number one, music is what I love, and you know, teaching music just is rewarding, because every day I get to come to work and make music with kids, you know,
Right.
and that's just rewarding, and it's fun. It's great. And from the perspective of not just a music teacher, but being a teacher, an educator, we're not just teachers. Our responsibility, and this is how I see it, we're members of the community also. And our students need to see us in the community. You know, like yesterday I saw one of my students at the giveaway on Highland, and to see his face light up, to know that Miss Dobbs is not just in a school setting, but, you know, I see Miss Dobbs serving the community too, and that just put a smile on my face to be able to connect with them there. You know, so connecting with the community is essential.
Awesome.
And that's just to kind of go off of what you're saying, that's a beautiful thing. So I'm not a teacher yet, but, you know, I'm going through the process of working on getting my certification. But I know one of the things that they often talk about in the materials that we study, as far as how you connect with the students. And, you know, the reality, you know, let's talk about Niagara Falls, the demographics, especially when you have schools like Abbott, Niagara Street Elementary School. You know, you have a high minority population, and the reality of the faculty base, right, doesn't always necessarily match the demographics of the student base. And it was interesting because I was in a class just a semester ago, and it was a Caucasian lady. She was just feeling a little uncomfortable and doubting herself as far as going into the school for student teaching, or just even getting into the field, and how she would be able to break those barriers and be able to relate to the students, because she may not have been of a, you know, certain ethnicity. But what I was explaining to her, I was like, it's not really about the color of your skin. It's really just about connecting, you know, building that relationship, and the students being able to see you and to know that, you know, you're really truly there for them.
Yes.
And by them being able to see you out in the community and not only in the school base, in the school, they'll know that it's not just a paycheck for you. And I think that sometimes is the unfortunate thing that happens, you know, with our students, and then some teachers wonder why they can't really necessarily connect. So again, I commend you on being out there, Carrie, and you know, just setting that example.
Pleasure is mine.
Absolutely. I'm gonna read a couple of these comments because I appreciate it. Colin Ligamari, hey Colin, how are you? She says the city is a better place for the care and the efforts of the peacemakers have put forth. We citizens are grateful to you all, and we definitely appreciate that, Colin. That, you know, I feel like this is just our reasonable service. I feel like this is just something that, you know, we want better. You know what I mean? We want better for our city. Also, our secretary, she put on here, listen, and she's working, even though, you know, we wish you were here, Marty. But listen, got a little feedback, ain't? Oh, was that a car?
That's a car, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Martha, she put, if anyone is interested in becoming or being a peacemaker or would like more information, please reach out to us. And the phone number is and you can read this too afterwards as well. Phone number is 716-402-8422. Email is nfpeacemakers@gmail.com. Our address, which is our headquarters, is 3125 Highland Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York, 14305. Thank you so much. And Colin said, my son just recognized Miss Dobb as his music teacher.
Hey,
That connection.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing that we do realize, especially when we're dealing with the youth and our kids here in the city of Niagara Falls, is that, you know, we have to engage them. We have to talk to them, and not just really just telling them what we think they should do, but just listening sometimes is a big deal. You know what I mean? I'll put out, and we'll kind of go into, I'll think about it. I'll see if it's okay to go into it. But we had just met up when we met up with the young boys at the ice rink. I guess, can we kind of?
Yeah, I don't think it's really nothing to hide.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Sweet deal.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we had got a call. We got a few calls, actually, from some young guys. And here's the thing. Let's be honest. it really isn't much for young people to do around here in the city of Niagara Falls. And that's, I mean, I'm going to be honest, like during my whole campaign, that's what I heard a lot of. It's not a lot for the young people to do. So that's my disclaimer. With that disclaimer, we had received, Ezra had received calls and, concerning these young guys. They were coming, young teenagers, going to the ice rink and, running on the ice and climbing up the building, jumping and, running on the roofs and stuff. So we got a call, and so we could not catch these boys to save our lives for the first few times. We was like, man, where
were they disappearing to, right?
I'm trying to tell you, we thought they were ninjas. Like we got there and it's like they gone. Like, so, and they were like, yeah, they were just here 3 minutes ago. I'm like, but how? We in cars, we driving and they're gone. Like, it's crazy, right? So we finally we got a call. We finally made it there. We seen them walking away from the building, and they actually ran down. And when they looked in my car, and I seen a couple of them, and they darted, pow, and they ran over the bridge. I'm like, they coming over the bridge. I hit the bridge, and they went to one of my favorite fishing spots. It's a fishing spot under the bridge. So we both pulled over in that area, and we recognized a couple of them because due to the mentorship program, which is big. That's why we have to stay engaged with the people, because sometimes you run into them and you'll be able to connect with them a little more. So we started talking to them, we started kicking it with them, you know what I mean? And we're just asking them, hey, to the point of like, of course, I can't be doing this, I can't be jumping on buildings, running on the roofs and stuff, right? Hold on, wait. I got a video call. Let's see here. Welcome to Black Reality. Yeah, this is the first video. Hey,
who is this?
This is Rachel. Hey, Ray.
Rachel,
hey.
Who?
Hey, Rachel.
Hi. Who's asking? Who's asking?
Hey, Rachel.
That's Rachel Ray.
This is Rachel Ray. We got Ezra. Hold on, wait.
Hello.
You gotta see the video. Hello. So welcome to Black Reality Unscripted.
I didn't know we were filming.
Oh yes.
I didn't realize that we were filming.
You on now.
Right.
Back it out.
All right. Well, I'll reach back out to you.
Very absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Okay, we love you. Do your thing, babe. Love you.
All right, dear. Well, that's interesting because I never got a video call here. That was cool. Yeah. Actually, hey, we might be able to kind of find a way to kind of finagle that into the segment.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, fast forward. Basically, Ezra and myself and Brother Wayne, one of our other peacemakers, we were just kind of kicking it with the fellas. And just from listening and asking them what it is that they were interested in, they mentioned this thing called parkour. And they said they want a parkour building. Mm-hmm. You didn't know. I didn't either. Did you know, E?
I never heard of parkour ever in my life.
I still ain't never heard of
it. It looks a little dangerous, if I must say so myself.
Okay.
But I'm going to be honest with you, though. Here's the thing. Like, just from having that conversation with these young boys, I found out something that I really didn't have. And I love learning, you know what I mean? Not what I say, I'm a fiend for knowledge, you know what I mean? So once we seen that, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's why y'all was flipping on the roof.
Right.
But then the thing is, like, y'all can't do that. This is a business, you know what I mean? You can't do that, right? Mm-hmm. So Ez asked a very straightforward question, which is a question that I like to ask a lot. Like, what is it that you guys need? Like, what could we do? How can we help? And they were like, yo, we want a parkour building. So that's how we found out. I'm like, yo, like, man, hold on, wait. So we look, and once we found out what it was, I'm like, that's right. Kind of difficult. I mean, of course, you got insurance, you got the city, and trying to find out how. So all that stuff, we're not going to turn a deaf ear to it. Let's just put it that way. We're not going to turn a deaf ear. But however, so to ask them what you asked them about after the parkour situation, and how this is what kind of segues us into this next portion.
But you know what? Just before we go into that, but just even talking about the the parkour and just talking about how it looks dangerous, right? One of the things we have to always remember, we got to think outside the box, and we can't be too rigid, and we can't always just see things from our perspective, right? Because let's go back maybe, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. How did people view skating?
Right.
The skateboard park that we got now, the Tony Hawk Park that we have across the street from Gaskill. When they first started doing that, tons of people thought that was the most dangerous thing.
Yeah.
You would probably never have, thought that you would see one of those in Niagara Falls or in any municipality.
Absolutely.
But it's trending so much. It's what the youth love to do, and that was actually a initiative spearheaded by the youth coming to City Hall or going to community development and asking for that. So my thing is, it is a bit dangerous. I probably personally would never do it, but if this is what the youth is doing, why don't we try and look at it in the same type of lens as what skating was looked at?
Right.
Maybe there's some sort of creative verbiage that we can create, some sort of rider or waiver. If somebody chooses to go there, hopefully they use the correct equipment. And or we can even have instructors that could teach them. And I know that we have some people that I think is online right now on the feed.
Absolutely.
That are willing to help out with it. I don't want to shout their name out, because I don't think they gave the clearance to do so. But again, I just didn't want to leave that without just opening that discussion and just saying let's really be open-minded and creative, when it comes to that discussion as far as parkour. But as we continue conversation about them and we ask that question, well, what is it? What else is there that we can do to help you out or that you're interested in? That's when the conversation of a game room or a game lounge came up. So I know that the Peacemakers, we are, doing our research, our due diligence as far as seeing how can we actually satisfy that need that the youth are asking for and saying that they want.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what's in the making right now. And it's not just conversation. It's actually people and community members, which I am very thankful for, who are actually, donating and willing to donate time. I'm a shout out a couple of them. I know I connected with BJ Smith. He's the CEO and founder of Game Heads United here in Niagara Falls. Over 14,000 followers, which is a great thing, you know what I mean? And he actually gets paid to do like gaming tournaments. Oh, and we have a caller. Good evening, caller. You're on Black Reality Unscripted.
What's going on? This Nick. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on,
Nick? How's it going?
Man, it's going, man. Just shout out to the whole panel that's on there today, man. Y'all definitely are doing a thing out in the community, and I want to applaud you just as a parent because I see a lot of, a lot of people that want to do stuff, they don't do it, and you guys are definitely taking a rein and actually, put foot to asphalt and actually, gotten out there and engaged with these kids. So definitely big shout out to you guys. So I just wanted to tell you that. Ms. Dobbs, it definitely shows the type of character, especially for teachers that engage with our community, because you made a valid point, or I think Ezra has said it, that when you see teachers actually engaging in the community, it shows the kids that it's just not for a paycheck. I think a lot of our teachers, I think it should be a requirement for our teachers that live in the inner city or that teach in the inner city that they have some form of community actions to actually get out there and see these kids outside of school. Because, and I mean, I'm just going back thinking of, when there was a movie about a teacher and kids and writing. I forgot what it was called, but she actually got out there and started visiting the kids and seeing what was going on and seeing what was going on in their household. I think that is paramount because, yeah, as parents, we could send our kids to school. I mean, pre-COVID, we could send our kids to school and the teacher does 90% of raising your child. You see them the other maybe, or let's say 80% or 70%, you see them the other 30%. So you don't really get to see the type of intellect and the type of children that you're actually raising because they know home as home, and they know school as school. And school sometimes for the kids where they can actually grow and spread their wings and be amongst their friends and do all of that. So hats off to you, Ms. Dobbs, for coming out and being a part of the Peacemakers. If any parent hasn't said it, I don't personally know you, and I don't think you've had any of my kids. I got 5 boys, but hats off to you. We love you, and God bless you. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you for calling.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I also, like I had mentioned to you, I think Ezra and Dante, with the gaming part or with the parkour or anything, you have a lot of businesses that would love to put gaming suites or, parkour stadiums or anything like that in a part of a city, because it not only is it, I'm just thinking as a business wise, it's a tax break for that city, but it's also promoting additional resources to the inner city. Right. So I'm sure, and I know I had shared a post with you guys at one time.
A video game, man, that thing was dope.
Yes. They are just looking for space. We have a whole street on Main Street full of empty space. I don't know who owns the Gen building now. I don't know if the city owns it or what the deal is. I had plans for that building years ago. Yeah. That would be an awesome opportunity to turn that building into something where, because that building is huge. It's not just what you see on the ground level. That thing goes underneath the ground. I don't know how far, but I remember just going into Jen's as a kid, like before they were closing. It's huge.
Yeah, it's big. It is.
It is huge. We could get a company to come in, host a gaming tournament with anything, and it creates economical stimulus to the hotel areas. On top of just the local businesses, it would boost our economy so much. Even if we had a league, but we got to be willing to invest in our youth, like you said, Ezra. We got to think outside of the box. These kids aren't kids from 10 years ago. These are new age kids. The things that I like or that other kids like 10 years ago, our kids ain't about that no more. That's not where their head is. Their heads are in the games. Their heads are in computers, because that's what, unfortunately, that's what us parents allowed them to do. So let's give them an outlet to be constructive in that way and still be able to incorporate the business aspect of it with the community aspect of it. Because there's a way that you can do that. If you look and you research, Cleveland has a whole game. Cleveland had to make a whole separate arena outside of the Cavs for gaming. Wow. Like these gaming kids have these gaming. You could type it into YouTube and just search gaming tournaments. EA Sports puts them on. All the big companies put them on, and they pay very, very well. So it's not just about locally. It's also giving our kids opportunities for employment and to make money for themselves.
Absolutely. We're in a digital age.
That's right.
So that's all it is.
All right, we got to adjust to the times. And you know what? Just to kind of go off what you're saying, because you're 100% correct as far as being able to, to make those adjustments and be mindful of what the youth are interested in. But one of the things that really stuck out to me when we were talking about the parkour and the youth actually had mentioned that they wanted to do that. We were just like, we always talking about how they stay indoors. They only want to watch TV. They only want to play on the game. Well, this is something that's actually physical activity, that keeps them active. So it's like, okay, we found something that will keep them moving, keep them outside. So why not, again, try and take advantage of it? But I 100% agree with you as far as the technology. And just a quick plug. I'm going to do that real fast. Blue Cardinal Capital. A lot of, folks aren't really familiar with that name, but they are the organization that owns those buildings now. They purchased them last year, and we were actually hoping to begin some community engagement in December, but unfortunately with COVID and the numbers spiking up, that's going to probably be delayed for a bit, but hopefully early next year that those meetings will start. And I mean, I'm sure that 100% that they're open to those conversations about what they could potentially do.
Absolutely. I mean, even if we were to get, you know, I know the new the stadium out there by Niagara Catholic. I know the new center out there. I've seen it, somewhat of it. I think it's got indoor. Does it got an indoor turf on it?
Yeah.
Is there a part for indoor turf?
Yes, it is.
Let's start up a flag football league for our kids. We can't, well, I mean, now it's a little different because of COVID and all of that. But because we are going to get back to normal. So for anybody we're going to get back to normal. It's going to be that we're going, you know, that's a whole nother different conversation. But we'll get back to normal where the kids can actually go out and do some stuff. Let's start a flag football team. Let's start a lacrosse team. There's kids out there that play lacrosse. It's a whole bunch of kids. You never know what your children are actually going to be interested in until you give them that opportunity to try something out. They got to try stuff out.
You know what I'm going to add to that, Nick? I'm going to add something that I say a lot of times. Really, a lot of it is just having a conversation with the kids. You know what I mean? Because what happens is, and we've done this, and I'll say I'm talking about the city of Niagara Falls. We build things. You know what I mean? And we say, well, you should do this because it's here. But that might not be my interest. Some people might have computer labs. And we got a computer lab where you can learn this and learn that. Well, if I'm sitting in front of a computer all day at school, I may not want to go to a computer lab afterwards. So we can't have that we build it and they'll come. But sometimes we just need to do something as simple as sit down and listen. I always say we got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We sit down with these kids and say, hey, what is, just like, again, when we sat down and we had that conversation with them young men, it was a simple question that was brought up saying, what is it that y'all want to do?
Okay. So perfect. So here's, I love doing these challenges. So here's a challenge to the peacemakers and anybody who's listening, city council wise, whatever, when all of this subsides with COVID and we're able to come into a collective space, let's bring the kids. I'm not talking about parents. Parents, of course, if you want to be there, of course, be there. But if we're able to actually engage and talk to the kids,
right,
and figure out really what do y'all like to do besides video games, or what other things would you like there to be? You know what I'm saying? Is it roller skating? Is it ice skating? Do y'all want to do, what do y'all want to do? We taking suggestions and let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, you know, that we can do is just talk to the kids and figure it out. But we got to bring them together.
Absolutely.
We got to get parent communication. We got to get parent cooperation. Look, bring y'all kids out. We're going to have a summit maybe for 3 days. We're going to figure out what our needs are. We're going to figure out what the kids want to do, and then let's execute a plan, and see what's out there. See what they want to talk to, what they want to do, what they're interested in, and let's do it.
And for the time being,
we talk a lot, but we got to do it.
Yeah, we got to step up. For the time being, I'm gonna just put it this way though. A good game room at the headquarters is a good start, at least to stop them from, you know what I mean, to give them a safe space right now.
It ain't nothing. Listen, you know ain't nothing, but it ain't nothing. And you guys got a lot of. I didn't see really a lot when I came in the last time, but I'm sure there's a lot of space.
It is
that we can even turn into. I'm sure there is. I don't know if somebody wants to reach out to like maybe Spectrum Communications and talk to them about maybe providing internet access, maybe providing, because a lot of these, like Spectrum has like call centers. So after a certain amount of time, they got to upgrade all their equipment in their offices for to like be more economical for the workers. So they end up selling off a lot of their old chairs, a lot of their old desks, like just working in a call center, because that's all I've done for 15 years. So a lot of these companies they sell that stuff. We need to maybe get like a spokesperson with maybe Spectrum, ask if they'd be willing to sponsor it, maybe get in touch with EA Games, find out who we need to talk to about maybe setting up a game station, find out what does it look like, how much would it cost, because they will come out and, like I showed you on that post, they'll custom tailor a suite for you for your location, whether it's in a building, whether it's in a specific room or specific location. And I mean, I think they were like as low as like $60,000.
So this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do, because we got about 10 minutes left. We gonna connect. I mean, we connect anyway, so it's not like you're not a stranger. So because it's a lot of good ideas, and we offer. Here's the thing: we're not exclusive. Niagara Falls, I tell them, this is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Niagara Falls Peacemakers, we're not exclusive. We have meetings once. I think we ramped it up to twice a month, right?
Every fourth Monday.
Every fourth Monday.
A Monday in between there.
Yeah, on Zoom, I think we do it as well. And because we need these ideas, we're not an organization that plays the role as if we have all the answers. We need, forward thinkers and people who are willing to put in not just the thoughts, but, roll up the sleeves, of course. So, Brother Nick, we're going to get in touch with you, and, we're going to set something up, man.
Yeah, we're going to set something up. Yeah, definitely. I'm always, like y'all know my situation. I'm unfortunately potentially moving out of the city, but Niagara Falls is home. And like I talked to Demetrius Nix because I want to work with him. I want to work with whoever I can. Even though I'm not here, I still have 2 kids that will be staying here, unfortunately, because I co-parent. Right. So I'm still in this community. I'm still involved and still want to help and still want to better the community. So I don't want anybody to ever think, "Oh, Nick left. He ain't." No. That's not what it is. I'm down for the cause. I'm down for the ride. Let's make noise. Let's figure it out. Let's make it happen and let's execute. So I'm always available.
Ideas and creativity doesn't have a zip code to it, man. I mean, whether you're here or whether you're in California, man, if you're willing to kind of, chop it up with us, man, and things that could help us grow, we are for it. You know what I mean?
All day. I'm just a call away. So
appreciate it, bro.
Get at me whenever y'all do. Much love. Blessings to all y'all, and y'all keep doing what y'all doing. It's definitely seen.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, now.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. One thing Nick had mentioned that I would like to add to the spectrum of the conversation he was having about creating new ideas and new programs and new centers and things like that. One of the things that he pointed out is that it takes parental communication and parental involvement as well. It's not about just getting these locations and building up these locations, because these locations also come with operational costs and they also come with a manpower of needed personnel to help operate it, run it, and to keep it safe for kids. Right. That's one thing that the Peacemakers, hope that our initiative and the things that we're doing in the community is kind of symbolizing like a hope that, we continue to grow. Like, I swear, every time I see another Peacemaker added to the group, it just gives me a sign of relief that we are growing and that we are connecting to the community, because it really does take a village. Yeah. We can't just point the finger at, say, our mayor or our chief of police or, our hospitals to take care of all of our needs. Some of that responsibility relies on us as individuals, and as we, as individuals, the more that we can come together and connect and actually come together, like, for an example, I feel that my ability that I have probably the strongest that I bring to the organization, the Peacemakers, is really simple as this: my ability to work well with others. Right. If it's so many Peacemakers out there, it's probably in the heart. If you support our movement and you're supporting our efforts, then 9 times out of 10 you have that peacemaking seed within yourself too.
Absolutely.
Man, it's really less about just coming together, being able to work together, and we can figure this thing out. But it's going to only become more powerful and impactful as it grows.
Right.
You know,
Right.
as it grows. And that's how we're going to impact our children, our kids of the future. That's how we can better ourselves as a community, and our households and our city streets. It's really going to take us all collectively to do it. So if you have that peacemaking spirit, or you feel like, trust me, you can help.
Right.
Trust me, there's
Absolutely.
something that you can do.
Plenty of work.
Absolutely.
I guarantee it. But, you know, if you come with the ability to work well with others, have that heartfelt spirit that you want to do to see this community thrive and do better, it will succeed. But it will succeed even more with you with us.
Right.
You know, it just, you know, the more we keep pulling and plugging, the success will come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I would say. We can, when it comes down to community kind of collectively coming together, it's a sad case and a sad state of affairs, but it's such a division in the community. And again, we're not exclusive. We're a very inclusive group of people. We're here. We're dedicated to the betterment of our city. We want better for the generation, our kids, and the generations to come. We want to set a standard and a bar of excellence here in Niagara Falls when it comes down to how our community looks. I just ask that for those of you who are willing and you really want to kind of get an idea of why we're here and why we do what we want to do, just come to our meeting. You know, we're not forcing anyone to put on yellow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want you to come and just see what we're about.
Yeah.
Give your input, like, you know what I mean? Because you're a community member too. But I think it works better when we communicate and we're not, and you don't have to take things to Facebook. And I talked about that to a previous show that we had. When you feel some kind of way about something, you know what I mean, or something might not rub you the right way or whatever the case is, you don't have to do a whole, 10 paragraphs on Facebook, and go live and bash, you know what I mean? Come see what, and that's with anything. I'm talking about with different businesses that's around here. If it's a problem, the best thing that we had, I said the same thing when we had, when I had the restaurant owners here. If the food tastes bad or something go wrong, talk to the owner. Maybe they can give them the opportunity to fix it. And I'm saying the same thing for the Niagara Falls Peacemakers. When there's things that, you may not know or may not have an understanding, or you might need clarity of something that, that we might be engaged or involved in, or just anything that you may, wonder, you know what I mean, about the Peacemakers. Give us the opportunity to be the best, community organization that we can possibly be, you know what I mean? And the best way to do that is just reach out to us. We're very approachable. We're not, wolves or you know what I mean, or pit bulls. Well, I mean, sometimes I can be a little pit bullish, but yeah, for the most part, you know what I mean? I love my Peacemaker family. And so we were talking about leadership earlier, and let's
touchy subject.
It
right
can be
there for
very
me.
touchy. You know what I mean? And what happens is a lot of times some people are just leaders by nature. You don't have to. You know what I mean? True leadership doesn't, lead or do what they do for recognition. It's just something that's a part of their heart, just how they move. You know what I mean? And I have to say that, we're all leaders in our own right.
Exactly.
Everybody.
All of us.
Especially in your own home.
Right.
And that's where it starts at.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's we encourage that really big. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you're a leader in your own home. You know what I mean? And do what you can. Now, we're here, we've gotten calls from people, like when the kids, sometimes some of the young kids can be a little something. You know what I mean? And if you got young kids that live with their grandparents or something like that, and it can be a little tough for them, you know what I mean? shoot us a line. You know what I mean? And we'll do what we can to, you know what I mean? But our thing is that we're not trying to force ourselves onto the community. Our thing is that we just want to be that peaceful presence. We want to infuse peace into the community. You know what I mean?
And make sure you shoot that number back out there, because I think a lot of people, they get that a little confused as far as they see us in certain areas or certain events, and they wonder why we're not at this event. It's not a matter of choice or us being not including, those places to go. But you have to make us aware. And if you reach out to us, we'll do our best to make sure that we respond to those things or places or whatever it is that's going on. So just to repeat the number, 716-402-8422. You can call that number at any point in time. And honestly, again, we're public servants. Call us 24/7. You can call me 24/7. I'm going to put that on myself. But there has been points in times where many of us as peacemakers have responded to calls late at night if there was a situation that we needed to respond to. So
early in the morning,
reach out,
too.
let us know.
Yeah.
We're around to help out.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you said that, because it's true. You know what I mean? And we're just coming from a pure place. We really want better for our city. You know what I mean? And so let me put a plug in. It's going to be very soon, so it's just something for you guys who are watching, and you can share this with other people. Soon and very soon, we will be starting a Peacemaker podcast, and it's going to be, hosted by our awesome Yowawa Media with Mr. Peter Green and Miss Ohio Barb.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Peter and
Man,
Barb.
I'm telling you,
Yes.
I shoot the line out for them because and they're humble. When I tell you, these are two of the most humblest people that you'll meet. But I have to, give love where love is due. You know what I mean? And so we definitely. And for you guys who are watching, go to Yowawa Media and like the page, man. I mean, and check it out. You know what I mean? We got some good shows, and I like to throw out. Actually, I believe Noel and Courtney, they'll be here tonight, right? Mm-hmm. All right, check them out too. It's Fun Day.
Nice.
Fun Day with Noel and Courtney. They're some of the funniest people that you ever listen to. They're hilarious. They are off the hook. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just shoot that line out. But we're here. So here's what I do. I always try to do this at the end. And I should probably kind of warn people when I do this. But if you watch the show, y'all know I'm going to do it at the end. So at the end, I like to allow my guests to just drop a gem, just, give a word of encouragement or whatever to those who are watching. So I'm going to go into the cut over here. There it is. You see it? I like that.
Okay.
All right, Feed, I see you. So I'm going to start with Carrie. Carrie, if you can just drop a gem to the people. I mean, just something that, just to encourage the viewers, or just a word of knowledge, wisdom type situation, I'm
gonna drop a scripture. Mm-hmm. That's okay.
That's cool.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Because this is who we are. This is our name. It's Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. It says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." Mm-hmm. And we're peacemakers, not just peacekeepers, which is different. Peacemakers, they make peace. They establish it so that violence and things that are not peaceful don't come in. So we make peace before other things happen. And that's just a part of it. It's a organization that's being proactive, and that's the job of not just the church but the community, right, to make peace. Everybody makes peace in some way, shape, or form, and but we're better when we all do it together.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that,
Mr. Ezra P. Scott.
Yeah, I just something very simple. It's a quote that says, "Small differences leads to big changes." And, so often, we're out here telling people that they can come and be a peacemaker, or, just work along with us, or just, again, they have different ideas. Why don't they just get out there and take action? But I think a lot of times people, they forget to look at the low-hanging fruit, or they have these huge, immaculate ideas of what they want to do, but that's not how you start, Right. Just start small, and you'll be amazed at what you as an individual, with those small little things that you're doing, how it adds up to make a huge change. So I just ask people to understand small differences leads to big changes.
Sweet deal. And we have our Niagara Falls Peacemaker President, Mr. LaCorey Edwards. LaCorey, if you can drop a little gem for the people.
Very short. Big things happen by bringing those together, and just by coming together, we could be more of an impactful power in movement, action, and success. By the more that we actually build and grow this city in a connected manner. So we all can play a part. Every last one of us can play a part in bringing this thing in. So,
and Dante, before you go and wrap this up, I just want to emphasize a few things that I know you and LaCorey had touched on. Is just understand that us as peacemakers, you see these folks in these yellow shirts, we're community members. We're human.
True.
We openly and humbly say that we will make mistakes.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to hide from our mistakes or deny them. We own up to them. We just ask you to come and give us constructive criticism. Talk to us to see how we can learn and do it better. And we're open to learning and growing.
Absolutely. Give us that opportunity. Give us a chance to, be better. You guys are like, philosophical.
Not really,
good,
no.
Deep stuff. But for me, I'll just quote a very simple quote, and it kind of ties everything up, and it is DBT. I'm gonna shoot a line out to my man Miz. We can do it better when we do it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Shout out, Miz.
You know what I mean? And I believe that if we took that stance and said, let's put aside all of our differences here in our city, because guess what? If it affects one of us, it's going to affect all of us, right? So if we can put aside all of our differences and let's get rid of all of our walls, and I'm talking about from racial barrier walls, from religious barrier walls, from
ego.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
My own walls I create.
Right, your own walls. Gender walls.
Yes.
All the different walls that are created and that sometimes we create as people. If we can start chipping away at these walls and just having a conversation, understanding that, listen, there's something that might bother you that I might not have to face it right now in front. It might not be at my doorstep right now, but if I listen to you, that might become my burden. I might say, wow, that's not good. I need to be able to help fight at least whatever platform or whatever I could do from my end to help this. Let me do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if we get together, let's, again, a connected city is what?
Protected
city.
Come on, man.
That's it.
Connected and protected.
Yo, listen,
Yes.
Let me tell you something. So I am so glad. I'm so thankful for having our guests here. We have our Carrie Ann Dobbs.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have our Mr. Ezra P. Scott.
Hey, everybody.
And my guy here, our president. Get used to this face right here. You know what I'm saying? The president of our Niagara Falls Peacemaker, Mr. LaCorey. Awesome dude, man.
Great man.
Our family is out here.
That's it, man.
Our family is out here, and guess what? You can be a part of our family.
That's it.
Right,
That's
right,
it.
right.
Facts.
And
Facts.
Let's
touching
grow
on
it.
what you was just touching on, Dante, like so often, you hear it in a lot of the different get-togethers that we have, or when unfortunate situations take place. A lot of people ignore things until it hit them on their doorstep.
Front doorstep.
Let's
right.
be proactive, y'all. Like,
Right.
come on, like just like Dante said, let your burden be my burden as well.
Right.
And let's work to address it.
Make peace.
Absolutely. And then I am yours truly, Mr. Dante, aka Tank, aka D Belly, aka Donta Myles for City Council.
2021.
Hey, let's go.
2021. Hey, so listen, Black Reality Unscripted. We thank you guys. We'll be here again. The time will be. What is it? TBT, something to be determined. TBD or something like that. Because and maybe you guys could tell me. You know what I mean? Comment on here and comment on the page to see. would Sundays at 5 or will Saturdays at 5 be better? Just, because we're still trying to get this stuff squared away. So thank you for joining us on Black Reality Unscripted.
Yo.
We hope to see you again next week.
And just for the disclaimer real quick.
Disclaimer.
Donta is running as Donta, not as a city councilman.
Yeah, hold on, wait.
Okay?
Yeah, let me
disclaimer.
just, because this is from a Black Reality Unscripted. So I was just kind of like just shooting that out there. This is not, I'm not speaking on behalf of the Niagara Falls Peacemakers because we don't, what is it? We can't endorse any candidates. This is just your boy talking on his platform. All right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's put that out there because people will get that twisted real quick. Okay. Again, hope to see you guys next weekend, and I'll catch you later.
All right.